This is Dr. David Jockers, and today we are talking about 3 life-changing health benefits of using ashwagandha. And ashwagandha is an Indian adaptogenic herb that has gotten a lot of press lately. It's very well researched, and in today's presentation, I'm going to talk to you about really what an adaptogenic herb is. And we're going to go through the research on ashwagandha and show you how it benefits high cortisol levels, helps balance out your stress hormones, helps promote healthy libido, healthy brain function, healthy immunity, and really is a great component to a healthy diet and lifestyle. And so if you don't know me, my name's Dr. David Jockers. I am a doctor of natural medicine. I have a specialty in helping people balance out their blood sugar, improve their metabolism, improve their hormone function and brain function. And I have a clinic, Exodus Health Center, in Kennesaw, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta. That's where I see patients. And I have a big website, drjockers.com, with all the best content, I believe, on the entire internet. And this is my beautiful wife, Angel, my little boys, David and Joshua, my identical twins. And so let's jump into today's topic. And we look at really the nervous system. And we've got 2 major branches. So we have a sympathetic branch, which is fight or flight response. You know, it's all about protection and survival, and it's a stress response. And so we need that in order to survive. We also need it to perform. So on a daily basis, we've got to perform at a high level, whether you're driving through traffic, whether you're giving presentations, you're really working hard. That's a performance. That's going to be your fight or flight response is going to be elevated, as opposed to your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps your body rest, digest, recover, and it's associated with growth and development of your body. So we want to be able to turn into that sympathetic mode when we need to perform, or when we're exercising, or when we're under stress. We want to be able to really activate that gas pedal and move quickly. But a majority of the time, we don't need that. A majority of the time, we want to be balanced out. We want to be resting. We want energy being associated with digesting our meals. We want to be rebuilding and regenerating. And this quote at the bottom by Dr. Bruce Lipton, a neurobiologist, you know, he says, you can't be in growth and protection at the same time. So what does that really mean? You know, that means that basically we can't heal if our body's in fight or flight. Stress is the antagonist to healing, regenerating, and digesting. So we've got to really understand that and shift away from stress during periods of time when we are needing to heal and regenerate as well as digest food. So again, we want to have this level of metabolic flexibility where we can turn on the stress response when needed to perform, but overall we're able to, you know, most of the time throughout the day, we're really resting, digesting, and regenerating. And so that's going to allow us to really have a long, healthy, and vibrant life, because if we don't do that, the chronic stress response is going to burn us out and cause a lot of health problems. And so when we look at stress in general, we realize that, you know, stress is actually necessary. We need it. We can't perform well without stress. You know, when we have some mild level of pressure, a certain level of pressure, we perform better. However, when we get too much stress, or when we have that stress for too long a period of time, that's when it overwhelms our system. So stress is good, but if we get too much, or if we get kind of this chronic overlying stress that just never goes away, then it overwhelms our system. Now, adaptogens, so herbs like ashwagandha that we're talking about today, what they do is they really help balance this scale out. So most people in westernized countries are in chronic fight or flight. They constantly have this sympathetic part of their nervous system turned on. So they're constantly in survival, and you can't thrive when you're in survival. Adaptogens help balance out this scale. So they help balance that out by taking us out of this fight or flight response and balancing it with the relaxed regenerative state. Some individuals are over parasympathetic. It's rare, but sometimes they are, and they just really have no get up or go because the parasympathetic nervous system is overactivated, and they will help to give energy, give your body a little more energy at that period of time. For example, like early in the morning, if you're not able to get out of bed, If you have no energy in the morning, then adaptogens are going to help give you more energy in the morning when you should have a lot of energy. That's important. If you're kind of that wired and tired, so it's like you don't feel like you have any energy, but then you have trouble sleeping at night, adaptogens will help you sleep at night. So they're going to turn on the parasympathetic state when you need it in order to rest and heal overnight by getting a good sleep. But they're also going to give you energy and help improve your ability to perform well during the day when you need that sympathetic nervous system turned on. So they're really the best of both worlds. And here are 6 really good adaptogens. You've got ginseng, you've got rhodiola. So rhodiola is a really powerful, great adaptogen. It grows in Siberia and adapts to the extreme temperature, extreme heat, and extreme cold that takes place in these kind of mountainous regions in the north. And it's terpenes, and same thing with ashwagandha, terpenes that are activated within these plants that give it this remarkable ability to heal and to adapt to the stress of the environment. So all of these things, holy basil, reishi, cordyceps, these amazing mushrooms, they all have adapted to predators and different microbes that are trying to attack them, as well as geographical stressors like harsh heat, cold, wind, things like that. And so what allowed them to survive? It's these compounds, polysaccharides, as well as terpene compounds, different polyphenol antioxidants that are in them that have given them this remarkable adaptogenic ability. And then when we consume them or use them in supplement form, we take on those adaptogenic qualities. So these are all really, really good to use. And you kind of want to find out which ones you seem to respond best to. And so here's a study on ashwagandha. So the actual scientific name is that Withania somnifera, I think it's how it's pronounced. And so it says neuroprotective effects of that in hippocampal subregions of female albino rats. And so the hippocampus is where we store memories. And so basically, and I don't advocate this sort of rat study, but basically these rat studies had immobilization stress. So they were immobilized, which when we can't move, that's a major stressor on the brain. And they actually started showing degeneration. In fact, 85% of the cells were degenerating in the hippocampal region of the stressed rats when they took this ashwagandha root powder, and that's important to get it, the root, as well as the plant powder. The extracts significantly reduced 80%. They reduced to 80% of the number of degenerative cells in both areas. And so powerful study right there showing the regenerative ability, the neurogenic ability to help form new nerve cells, brain cells, stimulate something called brain-derived neurotropic growth factor, which has to do with neurogenesis and forming new nerve cells. So really powerful. Another study here where they took humans and they tested them out. And these were people that had basically different stress and mood disorders. And they compared it to the placebo. So they gave one group placebo, the other group the actual ashwagandha root powder, 150 milligrams over a period of time, I believe it was 3 months. And what they showed was that the physical symptoms, this is a subjective questionnaire that they filled out, but basically the physical symptoms, so like pain, fatigue, right, these sorts of things, reduced in the group that actually got the ashwagandha by 76% compared to only 5% in the placebo group. Anxiety and insomnia, so people that suffered with chronic anxiety and trouble sleeping at night, 69% of them improved as opposed to only 11% of the placebo group. People that had social dysfunctions, they just didn't feel like they could be out in public, so they had a social disorder there. These people showed 68% improvement using the ashwagandha root, and the placebo group actually got worse, 3% increase in social dysfunction disorder for the placebo group. And then severe depression, look at this. Severe depression, 79% increase or improvement, I should say, in individuals that use the ashwagandha versus a 10% worsening for people that use the placebo. So really, really powerful stuff there, showing how ashwagandha helps boost brain-derived neurotropic growth factor, which is going to help improve our ability to function in life, our brain, and just our ability to function among people, our ability to enjoy and have quality of life. So really powerful. And one of the reasons why is ashwagandha is so good at balancing out stress hormones such as cortisol. And we know that when you have elevated cortisol, which is one of the major fight or flight hormones that our body produces, over time you develop high blood pressure. It also increases your blood sugar. Cortisol is what's called a glucocorticoid, meaning that it comes from the adrenal cortex and it elevates, job is to elevate blood sugar in your bloodstream to kind of prepare you for stress. Because when you're under a lot of stress, your body's going to need more immediate fuel. You have got to be ready for times where you may not have enough oxygen in order to produce energy. So it'll increase your blood sugar so that way you can start metabolizing glucose. And also will trigger, obviously, when elevated blood sugar goes up, it triggers the elevation of insulin, which is a fat storage pro-inflammatory hormone. So it kind of works with insulin, which will cause more fat storage. Also, cortisol in general is anti-inflammatory, has anti-inflammatory effect, which is very good. But when we have high cortisol for a long period of time, it suppresses our immune system, makes us more prone to developing chronic infections as well. So we want to keep cortisol levels balanced. Cortisol is good. It's a good stress hormone. We need it, or we wouldn't have any energy. We wouldn't be able to adapt to stress. However, we need to keep it balanced. And so this is a great study right here. This is Indian Journal of Psychological Medicine 2012. And what they actually showed, again, this is a human study, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled. So they had a placebo group in there. Both groups didn't know what they were getting. And they did 300 milligrams of ashwagandha root and plant extract. And what they showed was significant improvements in these individuals' ability to deal with stress and anxiety. And they showed basically a 26% reduction in cortisol in these individuals that had high cortisol that was causing their problems. And so as opposed to a 7% increase in the placebo group. So they just showed that cortisol, your serum cortisol levels, were balanced out. So people with high cortisol saw major reduction there. And what does that mean overall? Well, studies have shown, a lot of studies in ashwagandha, that it improves your body's ability to recover from stress, your ability to focus and concentrate and get things done, your libido. So if you're out there and you're struggling in that area, ashwagandha can be amazing for that. We showed the study on depression, overall tension and anxiety, your endurance, your brain's endurance, your ability to focus and concentrate longer, as well as your physical endurance, as well, is going to improve with ashwagandha. So performance benefits are great with ashwagandha. It's something I use regularly. In fact, one way that I use it is in this Bone Broth Protein Fit. So this is a great powder that we carry on drjockers.com, and it's basically got 500 milligrams of ashwagandha root and plant extract in it, per serving, per scoop, along with bone broth protein. So you get the collagen protein that's good for your skin, your hair, your nails, your joints, and you get the ashwagandha. So what does this help us with? It's certainly going to help us with healthy, lean body tissue. So is it going to make you bulk up? No, not alone. It's certainly not going to do that. However, it's going to help your body be able to produce hormones that are going to help you build lean body tissue and burn fat. For men, it's really going to help promote healthy testosterone levels. For women, it's going to help balance out your estrogen progesterone balance. Very good for energy, fitness, and performance. And this is why I use this on a regular basis. I just find that I feel good when I'm consuming this, and it's a great product. And again, dairy-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, soy-free, grain-free, nut-free. So really high-quality protein powder that's easily absorbable, tastes good, and it's also got the ashwagandha root in there. And then another product that I take and I also use with a lot of my clients are Cortisol Defense. And this uses a patented form of ashwagandha called Sensoril, which is really the most well-researched form of ashwagandha root and plant extract. And it's got a great combination of compounds in this cortisol defense. Things like lemon balm, theanine, ashwagandha, banana leaf, and all of those things have been clinically proven to reduce high cortisol. So when I see somebody with elevated blood glucose in the morning, so they do a fasting blood sugar test, and their glucose is high, right? 90s, 100s, and they're on a low carb diet, like a ketogenic style diet, I'm thinking high cortisol levels, high morning cortisol. And I see a lot of people with this. So what do I have them do? Have them take 1, sometimes 2 capsules of this cortisol defense. And it really does a good job, along with drinking a lot of water. It does a great job of helping reduce that high morning cortisol, balancing out their blood sugar. Also have them do 1 to 2 caps at night. So really, really good for sleep and for improved sleep, improved healing and regeneration and recovery at night. Take 1 to 2 capsules of the cortisol defense. And then if you're noticing high cortisol, so you do the 1 to 2 capsules at night before you go to bed, I should say. And then if you're noticing the high cortisol in the morning and the high elevated blood sugar, low ketones, that sort of dawn effect, then I recommend taking 1 to 2 capsules of cortisol defense in the morning. So it's a good idea to start with 1 and 1. So 1 at night, 1 in the morning. See how you feel, see how you respond. Okay. And then, more advanced protocol would be 2 at night, 2 in the morning. And you should definitely notice a difference with that in your blood sugar, your sleep quality, just your overall ability to adapt and recover from stress. These kind of herbs like ashwagandha and rhodiola and reishi and the things I've been showing you, these things help improve your overall resiliency. And so that's really what it's about. It's about being resilient to stress. We're not going to get rid of stress, but we can be more resilient. We can adapt better and be a stronger person in general because we're adapting to our stress, and that stress is creating adaptations within our body that allow us to be stronger mentally, emotionally, and physically. And that's really my goal and my hope and my prayer for all of you guys who are listening, is that you're able to improve your overall resiliency. And there's a lot of strategies to do that. You can, exercise helps improve our resiliency. Cold showers, right? Just taking a cold shower for a minute, or finishing your shower with cold water for a minute before you finish up in the shower. That cold water will help stimulate adaptive qualities in your body. Saunas, so that extreme heat, will help stimulate that. Just kind of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone from time to time will help stimulate that. So getting the right amount of stress, and then using compounds, good nutrition, good lifestyle, and compounds like this cortisol defense or the bone broth fit to get the ashwagandha in there. Really, really powerful ways to build more resiliency. So anyways, what else does that cortisol defense have? I did want to mention this. It's got theanine in there, which is really powerful. So theanine helps improve GABA levels, glycine, which is very important for relaxation, dopamine, as well, just for improving mood, and stimulates alpha brainwaves. This is one of the reasons why I take the cortisol defense before I go to bed, is I want to really be able to, sleep well, right? And it helps stimulate GABA. And then also taking it in the morning will help with the alpha brainwaves. So it's going to, again, help your body adapt more effectively. So if you take it at night, it will stimulate the type of brain waves, gamma brain waves, that are going to be associated with good sleep. Okay. But during the day, it's going to help with those alpha brain waves to give you more energy. So that's a great thing. And ultimately, again, this is about helping build resiliency, helping improve your mental clarity, overcoming fatigue. And that's why I'm a huge fan of this product. And I use it with a lot of my coaching clients with great results. So, if you're out there, you want to improve your resiliency, you're noticing high blood glucose in the morning, low ketones, you just want to help your body adapt to stress, maybe get some of those mental benefits we talked about, like overcoming depression, anxiety, issues like that, mood disorders and social disorders, then I would recommend giving this a try, right? Give it a try, see how you do with it. You can find it on the link below this video and on our website, drjockers.com. So I hope you guys really enjoyed today's presentation, and I hope you guys have a blessed day, and we'll see you on a future online presentation.